The ring arrived on a Thursday evening inside a small velvet box placed gently across a restaurant table, glowing with soft city light. It was heavy, gold, and perfectly sized, the kind of ring that made waiters smile differently and nearby tables glance twice. Amara didn't cry. She smiled, steady and composed, the way city women learn to smile when life offers them something beautiful but complicated. People would later say she was lucky. No one would ask what the ring quietly asked of her in return. Amara lived in the heart of the city, the kind of African metropolis that never truly slept, only paused briefly between traffic waves. She was 29, striking without effort, the kind of woman whose presence shifted rooms without demanding attention. She worked in corporate communications, paid her rent on time, and curated her life carefully. She wasn't desperate for marriage. She wasn't running from loneliness. She valued peace, independence, and control over her own mornings. Victor entered her life without urgency. He didn't flood her phone with messages or announce his wealth with noise. He watched. He listened. He remembered details other men forgot. He had money, yes, but more importantly, he had patience. In a city where men often competed loudly, Victor's calm felt refreshing. Amara noticed him slowly, then all at once. Their relationship unfolded in polished spaces, lounges above traffic, dinners with muted jazz, conversations where Victor asked questions that made her feel seen. He never rushed to pay her bills, never tried to impress her with spending. That restraint built trust. When he proposed, it didn't feel like pressure. It felt safe and like a natural next step. The ring itself was stunning, solid, respectable. The kind of ring that silenced family worries and ended awkward questions from friends. Celebrations followed. Engagement photos, smiles, congratulations. Everyone praised Victor's generosity and Amara's fortune. No one talked about conditions because none were spoken out loud. Marriage didn't change everything overnight. It changed things softly. Furniture shifted. Decisions became discussions. Discussions became suggestions. Suggestions slowly turned into expectations. Victor paid more. Utilities, upgrades, holidays. He didn't ask permission. He framed it as love, as support. Amara appreciated it at first. Life became easier, smoother, more comfortable. Then came the quiet edits. Victor preferred certain friends over others. He questioned why she stayed late at work. He encouraged her to rest more, to enjoy what they had built. He never raised his voice, never forbade. He reminded, "I just want what's best for us," he said often with a smile that felt reasonable enough to doubt yourself for questioning it. Amara's world began to shrink without walls. Friends stopped calling as often. Group chats grew quiet, not because Victor demanded it, but because explaining her new life felt exhausting. She posted less online, shared less of herself. Her independence didn't disappear, it softened like a voice lowered in a room where someone else now controlled the volume. In public, they were flawless. Stylish couple, successful husband, elegant wife. At events, Victor's hand rested gently on her back, guiding, reassuring, claiming. People admired them. Who would believe there was anything wrong? After all, there were no bruises, no shouting, only comfort, only provision. But comfort, Amara learned, could be the most convincing cage. Victor began to remind her of everything he provided, not angrily, casually, during disagreements, during silences. His support became a ledger, each gift quietly attached to expectation. Gratitude became mandatory, obedience disguised as appreciation. The ring started to feel heavier, not physically, but symbolically. It represented security, yes, but also silence. Leaving would mean explaining, downsizing, disappointing people who admired her success. It would mean giving up ease for uncertainty. And in the city, uncertainty is expensive. Amara started saving quietly. Small amounts, emergency money. She didn't call it escape, she called it insurance. She paid closer attention to how often Victor framed her choices around what he had done for her. Love was no longer mutual growth, it was managed balance. The realization came one night during a calm argument. Victor listed his sacrifices the way one lists receipts. He spoke gently, confidently, certain that logic was on his side. Amara listened, and for the first time, she understood the truth clearly. The ring was never just a symbol of love, it was leverage. She felt something settle inside her, not anger, but clarity. The confrontation that followed was quiet. No drama, no shouting. Amara spoke about her silence, her shrinking, her discomfort. Victor laughed lightly, dismissively. Control often does. He reminded her how rare he was, how hard life would be without him. He believed the math was obvious. Amara reached for her hand and removed the ring. The sound it made on the table was small but final, louder than any arguments they could have had. Victor stared, shocked, not because he loved her too deeply to imagine losing her, but because he had never considered she would walk away from comfort. The city didn't applaud her decision. Freedom rarely comes with witnesses. She moved into a smaller apartment, paid her own bills again, felt fear, then relief. Peace returned slowly, like trust after betrayal. Her life became quieter, but it belonged to her again. People talked. Some said she was foolish. Some said she was proud. Few asked what she had escaped. In the city, control dressed well is often mistaken for love. Amara rebuilt patiently. Stronger boundaries, clearer values. She didn't regret the ring, but she respected the lesson it left behind. That love should add to you, not manage you. That support without choice is just control wrapped in generosity. Somewhere in the city, another woman would soon be offered a beautiful ring. Security, comfort, a life that looked perfect from the outside. And like Amara did once, she would have to decide what no one said out loud. Because conditions don't disappear after the wedding. They simply become routine. In modern African cities, love and power often share the same address. Wisdom is knowing when to walk away before the price increases. Always ask what a gift expects in return.